Once upon a time, a little birdling was born in its nest, and that bird took off and flew from the world. What am I doing? Welcome back to BellTube, everybody. Today I want to express my deep gratitude for all of you who've joined our BellTube community so far. We launched on November 7th, just a couple of months ago, and I really didn't know how this was going to go at first. Our very first subscriber was somebody named Nikki, and that was number one. As of January 7th, we hit that first milestone. We hit 1,000 subscribers, and that person's name was Gary. I promised I would shout him out from the comments that he happened to land on the number 1,000. And even a few days later from crossing that great milestone, things are picking up. We're at about 1136, something like that, and I know the best is yet to come. As I've mentioned before, subscriber counts right now aren't really my biggest focus. I just want to get videos up. So to give you an idea, today's video in my brain is video number 21. I think when we get to about video 50, we'll do something celebratory, more so than a particular subscriber count. We might do an Ask Me Anything live stream. Maybe we'll get some special guests on if that's what you guys want. Leave a note in the comments what you think would be a fun thing to do once we get to 50 videos. But the main thing really about today's video is to give you a quick recap on what I've been up to and to really thank you all for believing that this channel can be something pretty special. And of course, if you're here for the first time, or maybe you've been here a few times, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that post notification bell so you never miss a video when we drop one. I also want to share with you some of the upcoming other shows that I've been asked to be on. I'm really excited about. Dr. Philip Chase, author of the Edan trilogy, has asked me to be part of an Edan panel, so I'll be doing that over the weekend, and I'm not exactly sure when it's going to air, but I'll for sure post it in the community tab when that does air. Another exciting show that I'm going to be on this coming Saturday is a live stream featuring Matt from Matt on Books on his channel, myself, Alan, and Jimmy Nuts. It's going to be fantastic. Definitely join in, represent the BellTube community on that one. I've really not had much interaction at all with either Jimmy or Alan, so I'm excited to get to know them both. Matt's channel is just great. A lot of the things that he reads, I also read, so I'm very much in sync with a lot of his book opinions, so I'm really looking forward to a conversation. I don't know Alan, I don't know Jimmy really at all, so that should be fun too. Another exciting video that I'm excited to be part of is John from Talking Story is doing a celebratory live stream this Sunday night. Again, I'll make sure to post in the community section exactly what time that will air. But if you want to join us live, I'm sure John would love to have you there on his Talking Story channel. So one thing that I've realized about doing BookTube and doing BellTube is that I actually love filming and editing these videos. And while I've kept a schedule pretty good, I had to pre-record because I was out of town for about a week. And I haven't sat here and filmed in 9 days.
Oh my God. 9 days! 9 days!
Yeah, 9 days is a long time to go without filming. So if I look happy to be here today, it's because I actually do like doing this quite a bit. So let me tell you a little bit about what I've been reading for the last 9 days or so since last I left off. So, of course, we are right in the middle of the DNF challenge for January. If you're unfamiliar with that, I asked 7 booktubers to give me books that they DNF'd relatively recently or in years past that they don't really intend to get back to anytime soon, if ever. The first book that I tackled is a book called The Worm Ouroboros by a guy named E.R. Edison. Now, Philip Chase, the person who suggested this book to me, was very uncertain whether I would like this book or not, and I don't want to share really my stars reviews yet on any of these until we get to the end of the month and we do this big challenge recap. But suffice it to say, I didn't hate the book. So The Worm Ouroboros, written by E.R. Edison, does something what's called, or it has a story mechanism called a capitulum. Now, I had never heard of this before, but what it is at the beginning of each chapter, the author summarizes what we're about to read. It's a really interesting mechanism. I guess it was used primarily in biblical times and to some regard 17th, 18th century. I'm sure some of my academic friends will let me know in the comments exactly what I'm talking about here, because I don't know at least. The book itself is an epic tale, but some of the choices that the author made I'm not fully understanding. Without any spoilers here, I will tell you that the first character that we're introduced to in the book basically is there. I don't even know why, because he does something in chapter 1, he's partly in chapter 2, and then you never hear from this character again. It's not like something awful happened. We have no idea. It's almost as if the author, just sort of in writing this, decided to abandon the character that he started with just to kind of get us to the main cast of characters. It was a very strange storytelling device. I've not seen anything like that before, but the worm Ouroboros, again, really surprised me. I did this one first because I thought it would be the worst. And without spoiling anything, I am confident that that book is not going to end up as the worst one that I'm reading in January. I'm also currently reading The Three-Body Problem, and I just started the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. The Three-Body Problem was suggested by Mike as his DNF book, and the 5th season was suggested by Josh over at Red Fury Books as his DNF. That one I'm not so much in love with. Three-Body Problem I'm actually kind of liking a little bit. About halfway through, maybe about 20 to 25% into the 5th season, and I'm starting to kind of realize why Josh thinks the way he does on that book, or why he DNF'd it. But of course, I'm only 20 to 25% in. Let's get through the book, and we'll know afterwards where that falls in the DNF challenge, rankings-wise. So after the January DNF challenge, we're really looking into February in terms of what the TBR is going to be. I'm super excited to go back to the Sun Eater and hit Demon in White at the beginning of February. But from there, the TBR is a little bit still open. If you have not yet seen the BellTube episode where I asked the community, what series should I read next? Take a look through the BellTube catalog and click on that video and let me know what your vote is in the comments, because wherever we land at the end of this month in terms of the most series requested, that's what we're going to start in February. And speaking of BellTube Season 1, we've had some pretty good ratings so far. I'll just share with you real quick, but the most disappointing books that I read in 2023 video has, as of this filming, about 6,000 views. The video that we did about 5 standalone gems, actually was really 7 standalone gems, has around about 4,000 views right now. And then we've got a couple of videos that are each sitting around about 2,000 views, and that's my top 10 fantasy series and the top 10 books that I read in 2023. And because those videos tend to be resonating pretty well with the audience, I'll probably wind up doing a top 10 trilogy list at some point either in January or February. As a new booktuber, maybe I can just kind of explain a little bit about the kinds of videos that I'm making right now versus what I think we may see a little bit down the road. No matter what, BellTube is always going to be its own unique thing. There's not going to be another channel like us. We're just going to do too many wild and crazy things here to make it identical to anybody else. But there are some kind of staples of BookTubes that I'd like to do, but we need to move a little bit ahead in time before so. I really do want to get the essence of making videos a little bit more under my belt before I start inviting other people on the channel, mostly so I don't embarrass myself, but at the same time, kind of one thing at a time here. Let's learn how to film, let's learn how to edit, let's find out what the BellTube community is liking, let's find out what you guys don't like, and then we can kind of tailor in some more videos that seem really right in line and in focus with what you guys tune in for. Of course, since the very inception of this channel, an entire 2 months ago, I've been talking about my great love for urban fantasy and LitRPG. And I've noticed all of a sudden some booktubers, and some particularly large booktubers, are all of a sudden being turned on to Dungeon Crawler Carl and the like. Guys, I've been reading this stuff since LitRPG was born. I've got a catalog. I've read hundreds of LitRPG books. If you guys want to know my thoughts on the genre, if you want recommendations, let me know in the comments and I'll do a video. I don't want to just do a video for the sake of doing a video. I'd like it to be something that you guys actually care about. It's a bit of a niche, but now that I'm seeing some very large booktubers start talking about Dungeon Crawler Carl, they're going to hit all the other big ones in the category. Although, to be fair, Dungeon Crawler Carl, particularly in the Audible format, is heads and shoulders over everything else. So that's where I would recommend everybody start anyways. But if you do want to see a LitRPG breakdown, what it is, what I think are worth your time on it, let me know in the comments. We'll do one. So I expect I'm going to finish the 5th season pretty quick in the next few days, and then I'm going to get to The Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White. That was the DNF challenge offered up by Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads. By the way, congratulations to Andrew. He surpassed that 5,000 subscriber mark. He's a great friend of the channel. I bet you almost every BellTube community member is subbed to his channel. If you're not, there'll be a link in the description. Go hit Andrew's channel. And regarding the 3-body problem, which I said I'm doing on Audible, after I complete that, which I think will also be sometime in the next week, then we're going to hit Weave World by Clive Barker. That was the DNF book suggested by Madison Goodyear. That's a bigger book, so I'm allowing myself at least a couple of weeks to get through that audiobook. But everything else after that, I'm reading in physical form or I'm reading in ebook form. iReading, not listening, so we're going to easily get through that DNF challenge, barring any crazy circumstances. So again, really the main point of this video and why I'm wearing my celebratory purple jacket is to thank you guys. I never expected in a billion years that we'd be at 1,000 subscribers our first 2 months in doing this. I certainly didn't think 60 days. That's not because of me, you guys. It's because of the community. There's other booktubers that have shared our channel. I want to thank them for that. Tori especially. When I first launched this channel day one, Tori put out a tweet and we probably picked up about 100 very first subscribers right from the tweet that Tori made, which by the way, before I forget, I was on her Motley Crue show last week. Go to Tori Talks. Watch the video. It's cool. It's a couple of hours long. You can just listen in your headphones if you like. But we had a blast conversation. And let me tell you how cool Tori is. We talked for maybe another hour after we stopped filming. She's an amazing individual. Again, kind of like Andrew's channel. If for some reason you're not subscribed to Tori Talks, please do so. So really in general, this video is about thanking you guys for being that first 1,000, those founders, that first group of people to form a community with. I do believe the sky's the limit. And speaking of skies, let's talk about one for the road today. When I was in California over the last week, I had an opportunity to just look at the mountains and be in awe of their giant peaks. And it occurred to me that mountains are mountains. Now that might not make any sense until I explain it, but as it occurs to me, a mountain is a mountain regardless of the angle that someone's looking at it. It doesn't make a difference if there's clouds in front of it that day, that mountain is still there. It doesn't make a difference if somebody likes the mountain or doesn't like the mountain, that mountain is still there. It's there and it endures. And like our spirit, no matter what really happens to us, we can endure it. We have an inner mountain to us. As I gazed at that mountain, I realized there's absolutely a mountain of strength within each one of us. And what other people see isn't always who we really are. And I think in some regard, so long as we remember that there is a mountain of strength within us, anything is possible, anything is achievable. We can do things like hit 1,000 subscribers in 60 days. I don't know where we're headed, but I suspect the explosive growth will continue, not because of me, but because of you guys. And here's your fortune.